Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour, brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, Quality Nails, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Oh, where to start? Okay, first of all, welcome, regular listeners, as well as those of you checking this show out for the first time. Today, we speak with comic Alisha Rayne. She has a show Saturday night that will be her debut comedy album. Yeah, she hopes there's going to be more. Now, besides this show, you can catch her promoting her gig tomorrow morning on Dakota News Now. And speaking of Dakota News Now, the incredible Nancy Tapkin and I will also be on DNN to promote our presentation of Love Letters by A.R. Gurney. We have dinner theater performances at the Icon Valentine's weekend, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a commercial coming up soon. But first, let's pop the cork on this bubbly little show.
Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day in your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party.
Whatever you're drinking and whatever you're drinking out of might very well be determined by where and when you're listening. My choice, a Jasper Newton. That's my regular. It's a Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime, preferred double tall. Now for you, could be a cup of coffee, spot of tea, glass of milk, bottle of water, mug of beer, a cocktail, glass of wine, or flute of champagne, whatever. Lift it high and toast to downloads and milestones. While I realize many of you listen to this show by streaming it, there are many that download it. And now, this show has surpassed 20,000 downloads. Literally cannot thank you enough. A lot of pride. Thank you. You're getting it. Cheers to you, 20K. The Weekend Eve Toast is brought to you by Chasers, West 12th Street and Ellis Road. Chasers has great food and beverages, and on Monday nights at 7, we play Dave Holly Hour Trivia. This coming Monday, February 10th, join us for Love Trivia as we get ready for Valentine's Day. It promises to be heartfelt. Honorable mention. So what over the past week made Dave laugh, guffaw, chuckle, chortle, giggle, simply smile, or maybe even shed a tear of joy? It was an absolute blast watching the premiere of Last Stop, the series, at the State Theater downtown last Thursday night. 7 27-minute episodes of comic relief, written, directed, produced locally, about a local store filled with local talent. I saw the first showing. Each time, sold out. Added an additional showing, sold out. It's now also going to be shown in Brookings later on, and then we're going to keep you posted about any other showings and when it will be available for streaming and downloading. By the way, when you do get a chance to see it, you might recognize a guest star in episode 3. But wait, there's more. The rumblings are getting lots of positive feedback for a second season. And I know one actor that's already expressed interest in returning. In just a few minutes, comic Alisha Rayne on the Dave Holly Hour. Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
Valentine's Day weekend will be extra special for you and your special someone when you see Love Letters by A.R. Gurney. Theater Lab and Big D Entertainment bring this great story to you at the Icon in downtown Sioux Falls, February 14th and 15th. Follow the lives of Andy and Melissa through the decades of letters they've written each other. Dinner theater, including great food from Dada Gastropub, starts at 6 Friday and Saturday night. Friday night has a show-only option at 9. Tickets are available through the Theater Lab, Big D Entertainment, and Icon Event Hall Facebook pages.
Tomorrow is downtown Sioux Falls First Friday. Join Serendipity Studio from 5 until 8 for a unique opportunity to meet a few of their wonderful artists, including Tara Barney and Eileen Alverson, and see more of their incredible work. Now, Saturday, Serendipity opens a new exhibit, 50 Shades of Red. From bold crimson to delicate blush, experience its symbolism, energy, and emotion. That show going through March 1st, Serendipity Studio in the historic Shriver Square building, downtown Sioux Falls.
For him, every day is a Holly day. Here again, Dave Holly.
Welcome back, everyone. Oh, I hope you're set for a lot of good stuff coming up over the next few weeks for entertainment. We certainly have it, including this weekend. And if you're liking that comedy scene, well, this lady has put her heart and soul into it for the past few years and just keeps it rolling. Alisha Rayne, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Glad to hear that. I'm doing really well. Thanks. Yeah. In fact, here it is Thursday now, and we record on Wednesday, but we tell everybody it's Thursday, which means tomorrow you're going to be making a promo appearance on Dakota News Now.
Correct.
As will I.
Wow.
Yeah, Nancy Tapkin and I are going to be on to talk about our play that's coming up next week for Valentine's weekend, and that is Love Letters. In the meantime, though, you've got a show this weekend.
I do.
Yeah, tell us all about it.
Very excited. February 8th. That's going to be at 8 p.m. in the lower level of Lucky's Bar, Club 224, downtown Sioux Falls. I will be recording my first comedy album.
Oh.
Very exciting. It's called A Better Destination, and it's just comedy about growing up and the different places I've lived and other things like that. So,
well, and that's been interesting, too, in terms of the places you've lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
California, Minneapolis, here.
And Huron.
Huron, Rapid City. I've lived a few places.
Yeah, that you have. Well, it's great that you landed here, though, because it brings funny stuff to all of us, not just in the comedy that you bring, but you also have people that come along with you. So who's going to be in this show besides you?
We've got the fantastic Tony Tubes. He runs Aberdeen comedy up there. He does all the open mics and hosts the shows at Hub City Station. And I will actually be performing at Hub City Station on the 15th of February. If you're in Aberdeen, definitely come down. And then local comedian Dan Snowberger. He's won the Funniest Sioux Falls Comedian twice. And then also another local comedian, up-and-comer Bryson Fleer. Just turned 21, but he has a lot of talent and he's got a lot of enthusiasm. So he'll be hosting the show.
Well, was he, before he turned 21, was he telling jokes at a bar?
I am
underage.
not going to say anything
underage
about that.
Joke telling. That's a new category
about that and what he was doing.
of a misdemeanor you can be caught with probably here in this state. All right. And so it's just become a regular thing, like weekly for you, and not just like one time a week. You seem to be in open mics and in shows that you're producing and so forth. When do you stop?
Never.
Good.
Never. Just keep on going. This is kind of a leveling up, I guess, in my career. Trying to get to another level of professionally being able to do comedy full time without having to have that second job. So that's the goal, is to be able to do comedy full time. And so you just never stop. Just got to keep going.
All right. Well, you told me that you've been rehearsing quite a bit for this show. And what is your rehearsal style? Are you one of those that you like to rehearse in front of a mirror? Do you rehearse doing the full set that you're going to be doing, or do you take it bit by bit throughout the day?
Right now, I'm at the bit by bit process, and I have to say it out loud over and over and over again. And then I'll record my stuff, look at it, make sure it looks good, and then say it out loud a lot more times.
Do you have a magic number for that out loud?
No, it's just until I feel like it sounds
Yeah.
good. So.
Now, did you ever do a lot of acting?
I did not. I was always the background, like growing up in theater, and then I done producing.
I knew you had done producing and so forth.
Yeah.
And a film.
Yeah, producing and
yeah.
directing a couple of short films here and there. And it wasn't until I was doing my own vlog that I got into stand-up comedy. So yeah, nothing, always behind the scenes, and then recently.
Yeah. So I guess, I was leading into it a little bit with that question first about the rehearsal style and so forth, because are you one that you have to read what you've written or what you've come up with, or is it just recalling memory because you've used the bits in different shows, now it's putting it all together?
I have to write it down. Like I memorize pretty good when I've written it a couple of times, and then I say it out loud, and then I reread it. And then if I need to make a change, I have to write that down and read it. So it's a lot of process. I feel like it's just unending, but I want to make it a good show, and I want everyone to enjoy it. And I noticed that if I don't have it fully memorized, then it's tiring. It's hard.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But if I am prepared, then it's almost easy.
Yeah. Now, the acting question goes into this one then, in terms of, are you worried about getting it word for word, how you wrote it?
Word for word, not necessarily. It's more like gesture per gesture. Okay. I want it to
interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I want the vibe of the joke to come across, but also that's how I rehearse, is like you do it so many times, and then you're adding the enunciation and all of that stuff. So just trying to get if I miss a word here and there, I can't go back. You just got to keep on going forward. So I can't be too nitpicky when I'm on stage. So
when was the first time you said, you know what, I have to have callbacks in this? I can't just go up and tell bit after bit after bit.
I would love to be better at callbacks. I've got a couple in the show, and it's only while I was rehearsing that I was like, oh, this would be a good callback. So really within the last 2 weeks. It's before that there were none. So as I'm putting the show together, then there's callbacks.
Have you ever written a bit that you hit it right off when you wrote it and you knew it was right? Because most people say that they're always working on them. They continue to work on them throughout the history of it. But have you ever had one that you've nailed it on the first time?
I would say one of my first jokes, I think, was when I actually actively started writing jokes. One of them was my first joke. It sounded really good, and it hasn't changed much since I wrote it. And I will tell it on Saturday. I'm not going to give it away.
I think I might know.
I would say one of my first ones, I always, when I'm writing or when something comes to me, I always look for it to make me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to tweak it a little bit, but I always try to keep it to where it makes me laugh out loud still, even after I've tweaked it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so it's a great process that people have to go through. I don't think anybody understands that. You know, somebody tells a joke, oh, you're a funny person, but it's a joke. You know, it's a punch, you know, it's, you get it out there and you have the punch after. I'm missing the theory right now for some reason.
Yeah, well, like there's
set up, punch. There we go.
Yeah.
Finally, God, I got to stop drinking all that Jack Daniels.
Right, premise, setup, punch, all of that stuff, and then
But to get a bit, that takes a joke writer, a joke teller, a storyteller.
Yeah.
And so many other creative parts that come into it. What do you think is your strong suit in that?
I am not the biggest storyteller. Mine are always kind of the clever turn of phrase, I would say. That's where my strong suit is. And so for me, the storytelling was something that I actually had to work on.
Right.
And it's also not my favorite part. But yeah, I've got a couple of stories in there and they're funny and they're, personal things that have actually happened to me. But it's really the writing, getting those turns of phrases is what I enjoy the most. So lots of brainstorming. I love to brainstorm.
Yeah. Is all comedy personal?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Not just in terms of, personal to you or something's happened to you, but somebody's told you about something maybe, and then all of a sudden you can say, hey, there's something I could use and work with.
Yeah, I think that if you just do stand-up, probably, but the writing process is so thorough and you write so many jokes and so many notebooks worth of jokes that after a while, it's the skill starts to build up and like the personal stuff, it's still mixed in there.
Don't have to rely on it as much.
Don't have to rely on it because your skill kind of picks it up. But then also if you're doing any sort of late night monologue, news stuff, if you're writing about something specific, then it's not about you. It's not personal. It's your skill.
Right.
So I guess personally your skill.
Right, but it doesn't have to be based off of only things that happen to somebody. Because, a lot of people will say, it's things I've learned in life, things along that line when they describe themselves as a comic. So how do you describe yourself as a comic now? And maybe even compare that to when you first started. How
I am now is I'm very... rehearsal heavy. I want to make sure to be very prepared. Some people they'll have a bullet point and then go up there and roll, I'm very over prepared. I need things to be written down. I need to memorize it. That's when I feel the least comfortable is when I just have a bullet point and I'm supposed to just talk about it. That's not me at all. For those that can do it, kudos, but I'm not, it has to be written down. It has to be, so.
What's something new that you're working on?
What's something new that I'm working on? There's a lot of politics going on.
I heard that.
A lot of stuff. So that's kind of, I think maybe the direction I'm going in is more current events and talking about that. And this is like kind of part of that is making this album to kind of head in a new direction. Like this isn't like the closing of a door, but it is kind of like the culmination of all my comedy up until this point.
Okay. So you could equate it to like opening the door of a new place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I do have to brag a little bit. Monday night, I was hosting trivia out at Chasers, and one of the questions dealt with potatoes. And, one of the economists that was on talking about all the tariffs and so forth, talking about how much it would affect people at the grocery store, and that bag of frozen potatoes that you buy that's imported from Canada is going to cost you so much more. I thought, well, don't we produce like most of the potatoes that we eat? between Oregon and Idaho. And so, I had that. I said, well, now if it's grown in Oregon and Idaho, and then it's shipped up to Canada where they make it into frozen French fries, and then it comes back, it ends up being called a tariff.
Oh,
But gave myself a rim shot even for that one.
there you go.
But there is, the world is funny.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Even in devastation, we find humor. And of course, that always leads to then, too soon type jokes and so forth. But the political nature of this world just opens itself up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to go to that and just look at it and go, how can you pass on some of the stuff?
There's some funny news bits out there that yes, you can't pass up on, but then there's some of them that's where that maybe they are a little bit more sensitive, or maybe they the joke isn't there right away, and
right.
That's where like the skill and writing over and over again comes in. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, working on those types of skills.
Mm-hmm. Well, excellent. See, I think you're right. It's a great time for you for your, this will be the debut comedy album.
Yep. This is my first comedy
album. Be the first
album.
one.
Yep.
Of many. You're hoping?
We'll see what happens.
Where will the comedy album be available then?
It's going to be available on Spotify to listen to, and then on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping for once all the production is done for early May. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
And are you doing the production of it yourself?
I am. I've edited
Since
video.
You've got that background?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be good. I edit video, and then also, I'll edit the sound, and I might have someone, doing the mixing or those types of things.
Yeah.
But the actual editing of it, I'll be doing. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. That truly makes you a producer then. I mean, you're not just saying, I'm producing a comedy show and it's going to be my first album. But you are nuts and bolts. You're taking care of the whole works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you would be doing if you had, obviously your dream is to be full-time comic.
Mm-hmm.
But if it weren't for that, what would the dream job be? Would it be in film?
If it weren't for comedy, what would my dream job be? Well, I wanted to direct.
Okay.
I went to school for film studies.
Right.
And so, yeah, I wanted to direct and produce and stuff. And those are still things that are on the table. It's not like they stopped.
Yeah. So they're still on the table, but also, do you think they helped shape the way that you do your comedy?
I think so. Like I've done comedy sketches. I've produced and directed comedy sketches and things like that. And, even shooting or writing a script, I always write from the edit. So it's like I'm writing from like where somebody would cut in the editing room. And so it's kind of the same with my comedy where it'd just be like, the comedy, like how would it look on screen?
Right.
And where would the cuts be? And that's kind of where my jokes are as well.
So where do you hope that this jaunt into the world of comedy takes you next? Obviously, you want to do it full time, but what's the next step in getting there then?
It's comedy writing. I want to get into a writing room, into, like the late night monologue, stuff like that, or even, John Oliver being, yeah. So yeah, Daily Show, stuff like that. So that's kind of the direction I'd like to go in. And so we're going to try to make it happen.
Oh, I wish you the best in that. It's always great to have you on the show. Always great to see your sets. And I also have to give this lady a major thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, has it been almost a month now? getting 4 weeks ago probably,
Yeah.
that I was the host of the funniest person in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
And so I would have to go up on a stage, and they didn't have stairs that had railings. And with my issues with balance, etc., it was like, well, can't I just sit up on stage all the time? Well, no. Somebody wasn't going to want that. And so it's like, okay. Well, then they could bring out this chair that's got a higher seat on it and so forth. And it's like, okay, it's going to be a pain in the ass all night long. Then, after like 2 comics, Alicia comes to the rescue and helps Dave up on stage and off the stage the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Without any problems.
Well, I felt I was up there running the clock, and I just saw what was going on, and I was like, it looks like he could use a hand. And
Yes.
so I just gave you a hand.
Eternally grateful to you for that.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. And yes, I can understand why sitting on that stage wouldn't have been a good idea either, because
Right.
it was a little rickety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We love Icon, but that's
That's a
stage.
downfall there.
Yeah.
True. All right. So again, tell us the details on tomorrow. Time frame, when doors open, when does it start, who's playing besides you, cost, etc.
Okay, so it's happening Saturday, February 8th at 8 p.m. at Club 224 in the lower level of Lucky's Bar. Tickets ahead of time are $10. I actually have physical tickets, so if you want those, you can message me on Facebook. You can also go to collectiveeffortsunion.com, buy tickets there, and then tickets at the door are $15.
All right. And they
So-
serve good drinks down there too.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. It's a good bar. And it's a nice place to have a comedy show. It's a nice room.
Yeah. And, at one point it was, the comedy spot in town.
Yeah,
years
Fat
ago.
Daddy's.
Yeah. So you brought that back in and done such a great job with it. And just, the overall promotion, did you think that we were lacking, or was it just that you saw we needed to have more oomph in the comedy scene?
Well, I was producing comedy shows during the
COVID,
pandemic. Yeah, on Zoom.
Yeah.
And so all of my advertising on Zoom, I just used those same skills and brought it over to real life producing. And then I ran a blog for a couple years and, advertising through that. So, yeah, I mean, I have had experience just trying to get people in their homes to tune in. I just brought that skill set to live comedy. So,
And it's been working well for you.
awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, very happy for you, and looking forward to so many more things down the road yet, and looking forward to that day when I see your name on the writing credits for someplace.
Yeah.
I remember when she said that. All right, you've been here many times on this show, and so the question changes each time around. We've done like New Year's resolutions or goals, words, different things like that. But if you were going to write a novel, what would the title of the novel be?
What would the title of the novel be? Well, I don't know. This kind of is a novel.
Yeah, in many ways it is.
A Better Destination is So I guess I could actually answer the question. I think it'd be, I don't know. The novel that I would want to write is like a paranormal vampire series. So so it would be about vampires. I don't have the
So no working title.
no
at this
working
point.
title.
All right.
I just
Well, we'll look for
I
that
read
then,
a lot of
too.
paranormal books and stuff. So
Oh,
yeah.
What's your favorite paranormal thing you've read about? Where you really went, wow.
I don't know, the like alien stuff really kind of trips me out. I think those are like the scariest movies. And so I think I would have to say Aliens. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Aliens, maybe that's going to be in a book form soon.
Yes.
But in the meantime, you really could do the whole thing about Better Destination, because you've got this being your show title and your comedy album that you can put out. But, you could have the album and you could also have the novel and you could have the audiobook.
There you go.
All
Read by Dave Hawley.
That's why I like you. You knew where that was going.
Yep.
All right. Well, great that you were here once again, Alisha Rayne, and great that you're doing so much for the comedy scene in Sioux Falls and the surrounding area, the region, really, because you do travel quite a bit. And so it's nice that all of that is going on. Wish you the best. And of course, then for Saturday night, break a leg.
I appreciate being here. Thank you so much, Dave.
All right. And we'll be back to wrap up the Dave Hawley Hour in just a moment. Here's what's on the set list at Trio Jazz Club this weekend and into next week. Tonight through Saturday, they're popular. It's a ticketed event. It's the Music of Sting, a limited run show arranged by the Haig Brothers. It's a 7-piece band on the Trio stage, including the amazing vocalist Andrea Ross. Now, they're going to have 2 shows, 6:30 and 9, all 3 nights. No excuses not to catch them. Then getting in next week, the 11th, Tuesday, join Dave and Vicki Wood for the Woodshed Duo. On the 12th, powerful and soulful night with Etta and the Vendetta. For more information, go online, triojazzclub.com.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a microgrant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xochiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet. Whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with an added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463.
Never met a meal you didn't like. Here he is, Dave Hawley.
Thanks again to my great guest, Alisha Rayne, but most of all, thank you more than 20,000 times for your support. All 264 episodes are available online, davehawleyhour.com. Don't forget, use that search function. You can see if a guest has been on before, or you can look up certain topics. You'll also find links to Arts South Dakota and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. So until next week, I'll see you at the Arts. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Hawley, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Hawley Hour has been brought to you by Trio Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls premier jazz club, Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, Quality Nails, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at DaveHollyHour.com. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.